progress in the game the last time. So today we're going to be doing more Outbound. We're going to jump where we left off. As you can see, we're about 14 hours into the game. According to the game stats, we're about 60% into the game, like, finished. I would guess we are farther than that, as far as, like, actual play time. Okay, so, where we left off, we had just put down this drawbridge, but we had gotten the Weaver, which lets me make strong weave. So, the things I need to do is I need to get a bunch of fabric so that I can float the ferry back home. And then we want to go up here to that. That's a recharge station. So yeah, so I remember all that. What would it take? Alright. I'm trying to remember. So you're doing your thing over here. Cool. Okay, so we need a lot more of the fabric and all that. Okay. So I could probably do... I'll probably need more. So I think I need... Let's check, see if I can just check this. Okay, so I need 6 strong weave. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's funny, a good time with it? Yeah, no, I've definitely been enjoying it. So I don't actually want to cross the bridge. We opened that up to be a shortcut back and forth. So we need to find a bunch more hyperweave. We still need to locate adamantine, whatever it is, and chrome. We do know there's another level of pickaxe, another level of scythe, another level of axe. Alright. Yes, this is what I need a bunch of, because I need at least enough to make 2 more cloth, and then have a bunch of the hyper thread after that. And that's just for the ferry. More to do after that, too. But yeah, it's very much a survival crafter. People have been asking me, like, what game would I compare with? It's a little bit of a complicated question with that one, because it kind of does its own thing. I've actually been comparing it in a lot of ways to Raft, which might be a hot take. And the reason I say that is just for
the next project.
For the purpose of this, let's pretend the areas that we're driving in between here are water, and then these would be your islands. That if you take it in that scope, and you just ignore the combat side of Raft, it does have that vibe. Yeah, it's like Raft, but RV. But it has the whole thing where you're managing food, you're having to, like, get the thing to get the next crafting thing, and all that. There's definitely a lot of ways it differentiates itself heavily, to be fair.
Time to drop off some stuff.
But, it definitely gives me that kind of, I'm exploring the world. Hey, Silveraxi, thank you so much for the 3 stream streak, and it is a lovely RV. If you're wondering why every time I stop I'm opening that, I've got solar panels on the roof, but they only work while it's deployed.
I should get something to eat.
You probably should. I don't have a second part to that. Yeah, it seems like there's plenty of the hyper fiber out here. Well, the good news is I was actually sitting there being like, okay, I'll probably need to run all the way up to the corner and do all that before I'm good to do the ferry. But honestly, I might be able to do the ferry right now while we're driving past it. And that would be good, because if I get the ferry done right now while we're passing it, in case we go up to the corner and it's like continues on farther that way, I won't need to circle back. Hey, Joachim, how's it going? All right, what do we got here that we can eat? Whoa, coffee's amazing in this game. I miss that you're 100 nutrition. That's definitely not real life coffee. Like good and bad with coffee. You don't have one cup of coffee. You're like, oh man, ooh, ate too much. Ah, just gonna need to lay down for a while and let that digest.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. And this game is multiplayer for those so inclined. I actually wonder how the multiplayer experience would be in it, because like I'm pretty sure you get just the one RV in multiplayer, and there really isn't much ability to get much done just walking around on your own with the limited inventory space you have. So it'd definitely be one of those things you jump out and you collect the stuff nearby, but even then, it doesn't feel like it takes that much to collect the stuff nearby. So I really am curious, like, would it have a big significant meaning or not? And then it's not like one of you can drive around and gather resources while the other one, you know, does base mom things, because while you're driving, the base part is put away. So I'm really curious how all that would end up working. Alright, so that's gonna need to brew for a minute.
Let's see if I can fix these transport balloons.
Me. I'm kind of figuring while that process, I'm just gonna run around and grab a little bit more hyper thread or hyper fiber, just in case I come up like 2 or 3 short. I've also been using the metal way faster. I had hundreds of metal, and I haven't run out yet. For what it's worth, I've never gotten to the point where I didn't have enough metal to do what I needed so far as the scrap since, like, at the very beginning of the game when I was first collecting it I did, but not since then. But there's definitely been times I've gone down to just, like, a couple units left. Okay, so I need 2 more. 1, 2. And I should just need the 2 there and the 1 there, and I believe once this last one gets done, that should be everything for the ferry.
Huh.
And that one was already repaired. And we got the achievement Ferry Poppins. Who is honking? Before I forget, there's no upgrades that I have that I have not already installed. Okay, so we look at our stuff here. If I get cloth, I can get another level. That's just regular fiber, which I don't have anywhere around me. If we get strong weave and fluff, we can increase our vitality. And I haven't seen much in the way of salt yet. There's not a whole lot for me to do with there. For the even better engine, I would need adamant bars. We haven't seen that yet. And power cells. It's just 4 power cells, right? Alright, what's that gonna take? I'm already sure I'm not gonna like where this is going. So for the power cells, I need... So we need 8 of the fancy metal. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's that getting done. I would need 16 hyper thread. All right, so that's already something we won't be able to do right now.
Huh. I'll put this in storage.
Okay, so we got the ferry done, and that was back in the second map. We had a place where we'd be able to access the ferry to move on that we didn't have access to work with yet. So let's work our way around here real quick. Alright. Yeah, so we can cross here and go to this recharge station. We have mostly a full charge. We'll just top off while we're here. And then from there, we have the 2 roads that are going northwest. And clearly that satellite dish is the next major landmark. So go over there, get that thing done. See if I have any more satellite dishes here. We're running out of things that we're aware of to unlock stuff.
Fully charged. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, there's a cairn over there. Alright, just got kind of an oasis here. And it looks like there's a cabin.
Time to hit the road.
The vehicle's wheels are merged in the ground. Alright, so you can check the cabin. And you can check the oasis. And it'll keep circling back over there. I like that it went from following all the roads carefully to just being like, roads don't matter. Okay. So I will need 1 unit of redwood to light the campfire up here. There's a cairn. And we'll see... I do have tickets left. That doesn't look like it's blinking, though, despite the fact that I've not been here yet.
Oh, some useful supplies.
Alright. Okay, so you don't have power. Alright, so I need 2 electronics. Repair the generator. When are we going to update the dog's turbo sled? Unfortunately, we don't let the dog have a turbo sled. Not after what happened to little Billy. Look, the dog didn't mean to do it, but that doesn't mean... It doesn't mean we can't ignore it either.
Would you look at that?
Okay, so we need 2 electronics. Okay. And that's pretty easy. That'll be just 2 bolts, 2 plates, and then we make the circuits. Let's go to this. I need 2 sheet metal. 2 bolts. Now we get our 2 circuit boards, we go. And I need to not instinctively put away my stuff, because I have water in my inventory. I take our bolts and our plates, we take it over to this machine, and 2 circuit boards. Because everyone knows all the circuit board really is it's just a piece of sheet metal, you put a bolt through it. Alright. Okay, so we've got all that figured out. There's the water for the mushrooms. Okay. So now I should be able to turn the power on here. And thank you to the Ents for the 245 stream streak. Catch the last 245 streams without missing a single one. Really do appreciate it. Alright.
Yes, now I can use a new blueprint.
So now I can make a bread press. Did I need a bread press? I don't know. But we got one. I imagine we're getting pretty low on the number of things left to unlock. You know, out that way it just looks like it's straight up dunes as far as the eye can see. They give all these advanced machines making all these advanced electronics, and then you just, like, unlock common kitchen supply. Yeah, like, you're making a thing to make batteries and circuit boards and all that. Like, what are you making? A convex stove? Oh, you're something new. You look like prickly pears. I need to not have that up or it's going to distract me again. I'm trying to watch dinner tonight. We ordered pizza. Dragon fruit. Okay. I didn't grab the redwood, so I'll need to go out and grab that. Feel like a little pocket of oasis here.
Just what I needed.
Just have the wood so I don't have to go back. Oop. Oh right, there was a cairn up on the ledge. I was like, man, I'm surprised there's no gnome or cairn nearby. Dragon fruit is delicious. I like dragon fruit. It's not one I tend to go for super often, but every once in a while, like a place to do like a dragon fruit smoothie or something, be like, yeah, I'll get on board with that. Yeah, so we got the cairn up there. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. For a second, you thought you were saying dragon fruit on your pizza? Not. Got any spare codes? No, I don't have any spare codes. From time to time, we'll do code giveaways when we're doing stuff like dare drops, but this one, the devs just gave me an extra key. Or not an extra key, I'm sorry. The devs just gave me an early key where I was able to get in the game before it went live. And usually, broadly speaking, a lot of creators when, you know, someone pops in, first time chatter, do you have an extra key? I'm not gonna say they're gonna respond negatively, I don't want to overstate it. Usually it makes people want to do stuff less because it feels like people are joining just for the purpose of trying to snag a code. It's the same reason why even when I do drops in that, I don't advertise it. I want to reward the people who want to be here, not people who are only here for codes or whatever. It's also the reason a lot of times I won't tell people when I am going to be giving out keys either. Not usually in advance, or if I do, it'll be during the stream. I'll just mention that I'm going to be doing it. But I won't put, like, giveaway in the title or whatever.
Ah, that feels nice.
What am I seeing way over there to the south? Oh, I guess it is the tower way over there. Never mind. I was hoping there'd be scrap metal under these ones like the other ones we saw. And thank you, RJ, for the 90 stream streak. I really appreciate that as well.
Looks like they are researching samples here. Maybe I can help.
The reason I had a long sigh there is a lot of these things are not local. Like, the fiber, I'm gonna have to backtrack. They just popped in to ask for key. Oh yeah, no, I wasn't like openly calling them out for it, but I also wasn't not doing that.
Let me write this down.
I really wish so much that instead of this being all the individual side quests, which will make it very hard to track, I wish it was just one big list. Okay, so... Oh. I do have most of these things. Unfortunately, there is one or two that are going to involve me backtracking to the first part of the map. Which I'm not particularly excited about. It's not that big of a deal. And I did see there's another one up the hill. If we're lucky, they'll do something like you'll go up the hill, and there'll just be a spot up the hill with everything. But let's get the whole list, and then we're just going to go through and grab one of each thing and just start running around and trying to turn them all in. But the ones that are a problem is fiber isn't local. I'm going to have to run all the way back to get fiber. There was another one. There was like 3 of them that I saw that I can't get nearby that I've seen in any capacity. I'm just hoping like this is a storage building up here or something. Oh. We don't have any of those things. Okay. Because we haven't seen Pak Choi and all that. Do you like the graphics in the game? Yeah. It reminds me more Raft than like Subnautica or whatever. Okay. So we have a bunch of things to go. That one up there, I don't have anything. I think it was that basically each one of these domes corresponds with a region of the map. And my assumption is this will give me a really cool blueprint that I can't get a hold of until we do them all. That's my assumption. I'm going to just try and hit the computer anyways, just in case.
Ah, another signal tower. Okay, I need to find these items.
Right. So my assumption here is that each of the things like the computer code and all that are locked in those. So good on you researchers actually having me required to do something to achieve my goals. Okay. So I know... Oh, put you away.
Time to drop off some stuff.
Alright, yeah, so this is... Okay. So course, carrot, indigo. I probably have those. There's the carrot. There's the course. There's the indigo cap. Corn, red, cotton, gold, tomato. Let's see. I know I'll need those. We have the cotton. Coconut was another one we saw. There's the corn. There's the tomato. There's the red ore. They found those two chrome. I want to avoid using the other stuff. I'll grab that for right now. Is there anything else that stands out? Banana's probably going to be one. Alright, let's turn these in and see where we get. Because I figure if I can at least knock down the list, it makes it easier to manage later. So I don't have grain.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah, so I don't have the fiber, and I don't have the other one for that tent. And I don't have the golden bullet or whatever handy. Alright.
There you go.
Okay, I know I should have an extra seashell and coffee beans. Alright, seashell, coffee beans, and honey. You'll check for the golden tomato, or golden mushrooms. Okay, so we should have the seashells and the coffee beans. There's the coffee beans. There's the honey. Oh, there was the seashells. There's the golden. Alright, so we are missing stuff from the very first area.
I'm doing my
And this
part.
will prove the expectation that when I get all these, you open and you probably have the thing for the data bank. Alright, so that one's done. And that one's done. Alright, so if we look at what we've got left for finishing all the research stuff, I need to get grain and fiber from the first area. And then this is a whole area we haven't got. I do technically have the bamboo and a chrome ore, but we haven't found those in the world, so I'm hesitant to use them right now. So we're going to not worry about this location. I can't finish what we need here. We already got the spot up there. So my assumption of what we want to do now is we want to get out of here all the way down to this point to get back to the second map, because then we'll have the ferry. And my assumption is the ferry will give us access to the third map, or fourth map, or whatever it is.
Ready to roll.
But while we're on our way towards the second map, because I have to backtrack the whole way, what we'll probably want to do is I'll probably want to take a moment to spin by the first map and grab a couple of units of grain, because then I can use my planters to grow more grain, I believe. So we have that going. And that will give me what I need for this. And I'll also need to snag some fiber. Now, downsides, I actually have a good couple recipes that I'd want to use the fiber for. So I'll probably want to get extra fiber. Yeah. So if we're crossing down there, my best bet's to go over here. So follow this over to the campfire and then turn south. Well, southeast, I guess. We'd still like lots more hyperfiber if we can. Because I know we've got more upgrades on this tile. And we don't know what the next area has in for store for us. But we know we got 2 more types of ore to find.
Some more supplies for crafting.
Probably another tier of wood would be my guess. Maybe, maybe not another tier of stone. And probably another tier of fiber would be another guess. Okay, so drawbridge should take us across pretty relatively efficiently. This will take us by the, what was it? The cap and snap? So we can empty and deplete that machine. But yeah, the research station feels like what will probably be, not the conclusion of the game, but probably like the last major chase thing. Since it does require resources from all of the maps collectively brought together. Can I just cross over this now? That saved me a big detour. Nope. What do you mean my RV isn't, like, designed for proper off-roading? Are you telling me my ridiculously large vehicle with its nubby little tires isn't suited for just all-terrain travel?
Huh, a load off my back.
Let's check. So this map, I have gotten all the campfires in this map. Hey, Serverlord, how's it going? So I've gotten all the campfires. I'm fully planning for, like, going for the gnomes and the cairns. That's going to be something I do off stream. I expect that to be a fairly time-consuming effort. Because it'll probably be, honestly, it'd either be, like, systematically going across the map and just kind of, like, you know, effectively gridding it out and whatnot. Or, as I mentioned before, probably just looking up a guide and just doing all that stuff. I've done both historically. Like, if I'm really jamming with the game, then I'm like, oh yeah, your world's really awesome, and I just want to keep exploring it. I've definitely gone through and put the effort in to, like, really search the maps and all that. But as games' maps have gotten more involved and more complicated and all that, my willingness to do that gets to be lower and lower just because of how much work it can be to, like, properly look through an area. And especially as, like, our graphics have gotten higher and higher fidelity. You know, it used to be you look for, like, the package in, you know, GTA 3. You know, like this practically screaming white package that's super easy to see.
Ready to roll.
That the only thing they can do to prevent you from spotting it from afar is by putting an obstacle between the two of you. So it's more about, like, okay, what corner can they tuck it behind? To as things get more and more involved. You sit there and go, like, I could be staring right at it and not see it. Like, I remember going for all the vault systems in Borderlands, and I think I had to look up one of them at the end. And it was something that, like, I want to say there was one of the vault symbols sometimes was not visible, and I ran into a bug. Okay, so we need to get all the way to that corner, unfortunately. We do have 4 campfires we don't have access yet. The assumption is they're up here, where that ferry's going to take us, I'm guessing. So we probably want to go down this route over to the recharge station, then over that way. Yeah, the comparison I've been making is towards Raft, even though it is very different from Raft. Just in the sense that your RV is kind of like your Raft. When I park it and I open it up, I have like the big building like your Raft you'd have on top of it. And it's still like a resource, like survival crafter. It doesn't have combat, but it also has kind of that exploration element to it, where you'd go to, you know, in Raft you go to your individual islands, and then you explore the island looking for the various things on the island. They have a similar idea where they're points of interest. But it does have a pretty big depth of different types of materials you gather and all that. So it is those things, it's kind of Raft-esque, but also very much its own thing. Like, it's the closest comparison I can get, but it's not like on the head. But it's like, the way I'm picturing it is, imagine these points of interest, and this is ocean in between. And it's just, the difference is instead of floating your raft from one island to the other, you instead have an RV you drive around. And then instead of having the obstacles at the islands themselves that you need the next tool or the next thing to overcome, instead it's related to your RV. So like the hill will be too steep and your RV can't quite climb it, or your engine starts overheating. And you don't get attacked by a shark every 5 minutes. Yeah, no, exactly. They just dropped the combat thing. To be fair, Raft's combat is fine. Like, it's not combat I play and I'm like, oh, this is so terrible or anything like that. It's also not exactly the most exciting either. It's just, it's fine. It's neither bad nor good. It's fine. Like, it neither is like something I look forward to or detracts from my experience. It's present. There's also no equivalent to, like, dragging nets along you to get free resources. That said, though, powering your vehicle can be made effectively renewable, that while you're deployed you can have solar panels and wind generation and all that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? On that last map, I didn't stop at the cap and snap. That's fine.
I think I need to charge soon.
Okay. I will say, as we're starting to get the better batteries and all that, like, we're able to get way farther on a charge. Then navigating these maps is getting way better with the shortcuts we open. And then there's only one charging station per map that we've seen so far. But it works out well enough. Okay. So we want to detour to the first map at least long enough to grab a little fiber and a little grain. Because I'll need that for the research center. I'm going to avoid using it for upgrades or whatever other stuff. Because to me that all feels like post-win the game kind of mechanics. Is that you finish the main story and then you go through and you get all those upgrades. They're just like incremental things that aren't super important but are nice to haves. Then we can circle back to a bunch of that. Because I'm assuming there's going to be an achievement for unlocking all the things. Alright, Basset, you have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. Wait, is this an old van powered by charging the batteries? This is clearly in the future at some point because we got like fully autonomous robots, you know, caring for fields or whatever. But it does have like a Volkswagen or not Volkswagen wheel, like a Volkswagen van look, but also sort of futuristic as well. But it is a fully electric vehicle as well. So it is kind of its own thing. Meanwhile, our poor dog missed the ride. It's probably okay. Bartholomew will find their way home someday. It very much, like, so there's 3 different vehicles you can choose to start with. There's, like, the default, which is very, very Volkswagen van. Very Volkswagen van. And then you have one that's more of, like, your more boxy, I'm trying to think of the brand. Your more boxy RV, so it looks kind of truck-ish on the front. And then more just, you know, rectangular in the back. That it's better at off-roading and everything else, but it has worse capacity and everything. And then you've got the one, which I think the one I'm driving is called Big Red or something like that, it's a much, much bigger camper van. So its handling kind of sucks. But it is. But it is, you know, like just bigger capacity, bigger build space, that kind of thing. But all in all, you can choose any of the 3 to start with. I don't think you can switch once you start, but it doesn't really matter. Because like this one, it's like, oh yeah, you've got this giant capacity you can work with, and I've never had to worry about it. Maybe with like the one that's off-roads really well, that has a much more limited capacity, maybe I'd have to worry. Alright, so not the ferry yet. We're going to turn here to go back to the first map long enough to grab at least a little bit of grain and a little bit of fiber. Because that's not been available on the other maps, and the research center wants it. I know I've got a bunch of other stuff I need it for to craft. I just don't want to walk around and grind fiber and all that. No, the dog's catching up. The dog's right behind. You can see the dog coming up right behind me right here, right now. It's fine, I'm just down here. The dog will make its way. I'm still a better owner than the people who I took it from. At least I feed the dog. And pet it once in a while. I mean, the reality is I'm pretty sure it's going to just teleport the dog to us when we get here. That was crunchy. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to race on over here. Because up in these hills to the left is where we get the grain. And I don't need much. If we just grab like 2-3 units of grain, I can use some grain to grow more grain, I believe. And we'll probably be able to find some plant fiber around here somewhere as we're driving around. One thing I found interesting looking at the achievements after yesterday's stream is where I got the achievement for fainting in the desert, which they call the canyon maps. That's the only map that has an achievement for fainting in it. And I only got knocked out in that field because the balloon that we were riding up was glitching and we fell to the bottom and fell to our unconsciousness. We got another recharge station down here. Well, as well as once we got an achievement and it was specifically for passing out in the canyon, I'm like, okay, if there's an achievement for passing out in the canyon, is there an achievement for passing out in all of the maps? But as far as I could tell, there was just the one. Alright. So let's not worry about that yet. Let's pop out. Get our doors open. Go to sleep. That way we can run over, grab the green. Let's grab a bunch of this green, because this is what things we need for the research station. And I know it's a recharge station. I'm deliberately choosing to ignore it for a second. And the reason I'm choosing to deliberately ignore it for right this second is I'm going on the idea that I'm only at half a charge. That very realistically I could probably go grab the fiber I need, charge on the way out, and then once I recharged on the way out, we should be good for the ferry and whatever comes up next.
I should eat something.
Probably. There's more grain than I intended to grab, but it's like all right here, so why not? Okay, so we need to find plant fiber. That's just the same kind of like bushes we saw in the last map, but on this map. It's one of the resources we got relatively early. So we can chuck all of you in there.
I'll store this right here.
Alright. Yeah, this is what I mentioned about like the whole raft thing. When I deploy it, we have our building. This can get way bigger than it is. But thus far, I haven't bothered. Alright, so I need something for a character to eat. I'm pretty sure we still have cups of coffee in here. There we go.
Time to hit the road.
Alright, so I'm thinking if we take this south, we'll probably find some grain. Or not some grain, some fiber. And once we got the fiber, we go up to the ferry. Take the ferry across. And I assume that's going to get us access to the next map. Now, it is possible that when we do that, there'll be something I need to repair to get access. I'm expecting the ferry is the thing that we had to fix to gain access, because they've done that with each and every map we go to get through. We'll get relatively close, and then it'll be something I need to get the next thing. Okay, these are the blueberries. Yep. Yeah, no, it's just when you close it up, it all just folds into its little storage thing on top, which is like, okay, sure, why not? Pretty sure these aren't it. I think they look... yeah. Okay, those brown bushes ahead, I believe, are what we're looking for. And thanks, Serverlord, for gifting a sub to Silveraxi. So, Silveraxi, you got yourself some nice advertisement-free viewing, as well as access to the emotes, whether you wanted them or not. So, thank you so much for that. But why? I don't know. Wants to subject you to a completely mid-channel. It's just the way people show support and all that. But I really do appreciate that support. Means a whole heck of a lot, so thanks so much for that.
Some more supplies for crafting.
Alright. Did I not just grab you? Or did I just, like, overlook half of it? Okay. Looking at our map, the cap and snap nearby us, we've completely emptied. Alright, so we've done all the cap and snaps on this map as far as I can see. Okay, so with that, what we want to do is circle back the way we came. Because we got what we needed here. Yep, no, absolutely, Serverlord. It's super appreciated. Because even a person, they get their sub and they're like, yeah, and they don't come back or whatever. That's the choice they can make. It's fine, so you can mark all these things down where we found them. Okay. So this time we're going to stop and recharge. Then we go back to the map just to our north. We take the ferry onto the new map we haven't seen yet. This is just a quick detour to grab those handful of resources, because we haven't had an opportunity to get those since the beginning of the game. And like I said, I actually do have a couple things of research who want me to have it. I'm not going to worry about those yet. I'd rather focus on getting whatever the research base is going to give me.
Fully charged. Let's go.
Can you handle this? Okay. So yeah, we follow this back to the cave. And the good news is the ferry is right by the area that you start off the second map in. So we're going to go up, we're going to take the first left, and the ferry's like right there. And once we cross the ferry, everything's new from that point on. Okay. Probably cut up that road instead of going around up here. It might not actually be any faster, but that's fine. It's almost like the hiking trail is not meant for an RV to drive over it. That suddenly makes me remember, before we go too much farther. Okay, the tires actually haven't gone that low. I have no idea what that even makes a difference for this game. Like, in real life, you can lower the pressure on tires to give you more grip. There's no lower, just higher. Some games, they have it where, like, if the tire pressure gets too low, the tire comes off. That's like Project Zomboid. If your tire pressure hits 0, the whole wheel just pops off your car. But, like, in this, it's like, okay, I'm assuming it's the thing where if you let it hit 0%, like, your car can't drive or, like, doesn't drive well and you have to get out and fix it. That's what my assumption is. But it is those things that they go down so low. I'm willing to bet I probably could finish the game in one go.
Ah, the way to the coast. I can smell the sea in the air already.
I could probably let the thing completely drain off and still likely have enough there. I did see it pop up a thing like there's a bunch more quests here. Oh, yeah, so it's nothing. The only ones we got left are the research stuff. Until we reach the ferry. So now I just take a left and I can already see the ferry right there.
Looks like the ferry's back in operation.
Oh. Okay. I thought I was going to have to interact with that control panel. This is straight up just taking us to the next area. Alright, I thought it was going to like move us to the top left corner of the map since there's a big area unexplored. And that in turn was going to take us to the next area. Nope, it is just straight up a new thing, and we just got achievement, welcome to the mountains. Or up in the mountains. The point is it's the mountains. So I see there's some type of material over here. Let's see if you're something... Oh, I think it's just a coconut. Never mind. From a distance, I thought it was going to be whatever the new rock was, if there's a new rock. I have a feeling my solar is not going to be very useful with a big freaking mountain blocking the light. Okay, so is that just regular old stone over here? You look like regular stone, but you could be something like limestone or marble. It is just regular old stone. Which actually works out because I recall being kind of low on this.
I'll store this right here.
You had a nail in your V8 Ute tire for over a year. You drove to the pump the tire every week, and it's so heavy on the front end, but light in the back end. Okay. So we got our first campfire, so I'm assuming it's still going to ask me for redwood to light these fires. We haven't had anything else come up. Blossom wood.
Beautiful golden beach.
Okay, so we got a new wood called blossom wood to deal with. I'm assuming blossom wood's gonna be like cherry trees. Or not cherry trees, no, yeah, cherry blossoms. No, that's right. Something along those lines, like the really gorgeous leaves and everything. Okay.
Looks like I can download a blueprint here.
Okay. Download bamboo splitter, better honey, better mushroom plot counter. Huh. The bamboo splitter seems like the thing that'll be the most likely relevant for us here.
Let's see what's inside. Huh. Ugh.
Oh, wait, I see. I'm assuming the lift is up there and I gotta bring it down. I thought it was already on lift, but seeing that big white pad thing past it, I'm assuming that's the parking spot for the lift.
It's on its way down. Oh!
This seems highly impractical and highly unsafe. Uh-huh. You know what I want to do? Have my my RV lift by drone.
Here we go.
Let me check something. Because I believe my dinner's on its way. Well, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Well, I have no idea what's going on with that now. OSHA does not approve this lift. Nothing approves. I just want to double check one thing, because I've got... Okay, supposing my food is on its way. Alright. It says it's on its way. It's going to be like 30 minutes or so, which I find interesting because the place that delivers is like seriously just around the corner. But, you know, whatever. I'm just... Oh, 1 second. Bear with me a second, chat. I want to turn on my porch light so the poor delivery person isn't, like, going up to a completely suspicious house with no lights on. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to quickly do that. I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Pizza. Like, Tomb doesn't usually, like, reach out being like, hey, you know, what's for dinner or whatever. And today she's like, you wouldn't happen to know what you want for dinner, would you? I was like, no, we got sausage I'd probably make. She's like, can it be pizza? It's like, it can be pizza. We can make that happen. If that's what you want, pizza can be made to happen.
Looks like I need a better axe.
Other people... Whoa, hold up. Hold up. Okay. Is this the festival everyone's been talking about? Is just those two people? Okay, actually, that's pretty sick looking. I'm a little concerned about the pink water part of it. The rest of this all looks pretty awesome. The pink water, I don't think I would want to interact with any more than is absolutely required. The pink water is highly suspicious of being full of some kind or another of particularly awful chemicals. Like, I feel like the pink water either A, treats indigestion, or B, you use that to clean up particularly cumbersome stains. And zero in between those. It could be all the minerals or bacteria.
Load off my back.
Right. But the question is, what are the health implications of either of those things? Because, you know, some minerals make water more tasty and have other, you know, health benefits. Other minerals keep the morticianer well employed.
Looks like I can download a blueprint here.
Okay. We'll probably want all these. Let's get the axe first. Because I have a feeling we're going to need a lot of blossom wood. Meanwhile, there's someone down there who's like, dude, I spent all day getting those set up. That was for the grand finale tonight. You've launched them all. You've ruined the entire occasion. Why would you do that? Rose minerals. Oh. Oh, you only required redwood planks. Weird. So we need to look for rocks. Also, they didn't want you to take it, they should have bolted it down. Yes. Okay. So you turn right or left. Left probably goes up the mountain trail there. I'm not seeing an obvious, like, this way or that way. Let's go downhill first. Oh, wait. There was rock there. Because that's what I need, is I need a bunch of that rock. To make my axe.
Time to hit the road.
Okay. So I got a campfire site to my left. We got the pak choi. Pak choi is one of the things we need for the research place.
tasty treasure.
All right. Let's grab, that's a big log.
Looks like I need a better axe.
Okay. Let's deploy this thing and see where we're at so far as getting our stuff going. Alright, so the better axe requires 8 rose minerals. I don't think I have 8 rose ore or stone or whatever it is. I have 7. I'm shy by 1. Okay. And meanwhile, we can go here. We've got a bread press and a bamboo. Ooh, that's a lot of bamboo. All right, so the bread press is 5 bolts, 5 sheet metal. Easy enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's grab your research thing, put you here. Grab your cooking thing, put you there. Grab your research thing, put you here. Grab those. Grab your bolt making thing and put you there. And bread press goes here. Which will let me make honey bread and bread jam. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to sleep.
A fresh new day.
I'm getting like all these things. Oh, interesting. I see. So it looks like the local pizza place stopped having their own delivery people and are just door dashing now. Which is fine. But, so like I got like the tracking link and like this thing isn't moving. I really hope everything's on the up and up. Not like as, you know, I think like the delivery person's like pocketing our food or whatever. But it's kind of one of those things like, huh, I'm not seeing the icon move, and it's because they still have their old tracking thing that isn't DoorDash. Oh, hey. There's some rock up here. But this wasn't giving me the information that the vehicle is on its way or whatever.
Interesting rock formation.
Silver Luke. I'm getting my text and everything's being blasted, being like, we're getting ready to deliver your stuff. We're getting ready to pick up your stuff. We're gonna send out your stuff. You're like, dude, I understand. It's okay. It's one of those things that need to be ready for whenever I hear, you know, the bing bong or whatever.
Looks like I need a better pickaxe.
I run downstairs and grab it. Okay, so we should be able to get the 8 material for our better wood, so that's good. We'll have a blossom wood axe already, which I'm willing to bet is our last axe. Let's pop up here real quick. Go to the rock smasher, which is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You press that for a minute. Did I already water you today? And I cannot grow the dragon fruit. So get the pink choy or whatever it was. Pak choy. And then mushroom-wise, whichever one I got the least. Alright, so got all those watered. Okay. I wonder how many more, like, crafting benches and all that we'll get. Because we've got a craft, or we got a research bench for the dog. That would need to go back and get a bunch of plant fiber. That requires a bunch of plant fiber. That requires stuff from the previous map. That's plant fiber. Like, genuinely, a lot of these I'd have to circle back. Now, granted, these two, this is the rosemary. Dang, that's 40. Okay. And then the power cells we have things started with, and we haven't seen the adamantite. Alright, so it should give me everything I need.
Time to drop off some stuff.
So pop over here. And axe. So now when I see the big blossomwood logs, you can break those up. Because I suspect we're going to need a lot of them. I suspect the next thing we're probably going to want to prioritize is the pickaxe tool-wise. Because it looks like I'm going to need a lot of the quartz metal and all that. Or quartz blossom. Are you flowers anything? No.
Looks
Sugar
like I need
cane.
a better sickle.
I like that this is the festival, and like in practice it's like 2 people dancing by a camper van in like one area, then going a quarter mile up the road. Oh wait, was that a gnome I saw back under that tree? You sneaky bugger. Zinc. If that is your real name.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Oh, there's a piece of stone. Because I'm assuming the pickaxe is probably going to require a decent amount of the loose stone. And then after we get that, then we can have stuff that requires the actual metal. I suspect each of the tools will probably be like just the wood and the stone and, you know, whatever amounts. And then, like, whatever the points of interest progression stuff, that's when we're gonna end up needing the, you know, the adamantine or whatever.
Looks like I can download a blueprint at the signal tower.
Crop plot counter. Building on top of your veggies? That's crazy. Oh! Oh, I see. When it's saying those are a counter, it's literally I can build a shelf above them. Weird. Sure. Alright, Chad, in just a minute or so, I'll have to step away to get the door for the food arriving. How's day 3 go? It's going good. We're definitely, like, reaching the wind down, all that. Like, this map is still a map, but also feels like kind of a wrap-up being like, you know, thank you for getting towards the end of the game or whatever. It's weirdly a bit of both. Okay, so Chad, I do see that the delivery person is about to arrive here in just a minute. So bear with me. I'm going to park my vehicle here really fast.
Maybe there's another way across?
And then I'm going to need to step away long enough to get my food order that's about to arrive at the door and all that. And I'll be right back after that. But it's going to take me just a minute or so. So I need 10 blossom wood planks to repair the route to walk around to the other side. So what are you? Bamboo. Fair enough. Okay, so let's deploy this thing.
I'll put this in storage.
And we need 10 blossom wood planks. I have enough for 8. Alright, so what's going to happen here, Chaz? Like I said, I'm going to need to step away for just a couple minutes. The doorbell's about to ring here in just a minute. So I'm going to go step away. It also works out because we're right about to have our ad break anyways. But I'm going to go get my delivery real quick. Run downstairs, just bring it up here and all that. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. And thank you again for tuning in. Okay, let's see. I can't hear it. Okay, my headset just randomly turned off. All right. Cool. So, it was all delivered. Let's see. How do you put logs into a sawmill? Or how do the planks go out? So, I mean, I just put them in here. And I collect them there. If you're considering from a realism standpoint, look, man. I deploy a giant cabin outside the top of my vehicle. The sawmill would be like the least of our concerns. Sorry with that, I had to run up and downstairs like 4 trips. Alright, so we need at least one more blossomwood log. And then with that, we'll be able to make what I need to get to the other side to drop the drawbridge. What am I looking at the top of that log? For stone. Okay, so at least 2 over this way. That should be plenty of blossom wood for my needs. Okay. So with all that, we can go right here. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. I forgot. That'll be fine. So that should give me my 10. We'll let that process. Also, let's go to this. And get you processing. Okay, let's just go to sleep. Okay.
Huh.
But yeah, no, it's probably you could do some wild and interesting things here. I do wonder, as you make the place bigger, would eventually get to the point that it'd put supports when it spreads out. Okay, so that's what I need to repair things.
Huh. Time to hit the road.
Alright. So you can go and repair that bridge, walk around, and then I assume lower the drawbridge from the other side. Yeah, this map seems a little bit smaller than the other 3, which I think is fair. It definitely feels like this map is intended to be kind of a finale, where they're having you still unlock and progress some stuff and all that. But broadly speaking, it's just making you kind of check out the festival one section at a time, and all that.
Ah, battery's running low.
But we haven't run into, on this map, a whole bunch of really steep challenges. That said, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of cairns, gnomes, like a similar amount to that. There's slightly fewer campfires on this map.
Maybe there's another way across?
I'll let you recharge just a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna be real, all the people went to the festival, and clearly the drawbridge was lifted up behind them. Very way to make someone feel unwelcome. They're like, oh yeah, it's a festival, everyone's
Perfect for
gonna
the
be
next
there.
project.
We'll just very specifically lift the ladder, as it were, up behind us. But you're of course welcome. But you know, we're definitely going to, you know, make sure you can't actually get there. Also, we're going to go ahead and destroy the only bridge. Just really make you feel welcome. And there's a cairn. On the bright side, considering we haven't put time to like very carefully search for all the cairns and all that, the fact that we've definitely found over half of them in the game is not bad. I see you sneaking there. You know what this is, chat? One of the most spectacular views you'll ever see. The backside of water. For the many people who have experienced the Jungle Cruise ride. There's Noldor. Just the RV with a giant house on it.
I'll put this in storage.
Okay, we didn't get hardly any power because, like I said, I think the mountain is understandably obstructing the sun pretty bad. That's a bigger one, so I can't cut that down.
I should find something to eat.
Okay. Should have plenty of options in the back here at this stage. Alright, what do we want to have our character eat? I'm pretty sure we had some already made food that we found. Have a little ginger tea. And a hunk of dragon fruit. I assume this will be one of those cases that until I get the upgraded sickle, it's going to be pretty rough to get the bamboo. But I'm probably going to need the bamboo for some stuff we want here. So I shouldn't skip it and just grab what we can.
Ready to roll.
Doesn't matter, that's what I won't be able to get anyways. Okay. Grab a little bit of that bamboo that's here and there. And we'll get the download.
That could come in handy.
Alright. Yeah, so it looks like there's a trail that goes right around this side. We got the bamboo down here. And then our download.
Looks like I can download a blueprint at the signal tower.
And pickaxe it is, because that is my only choice. That's fine. I was actually about to sit there and say, like, I'm not sure which I should go after, the bamboo, or sorry, the scythe or the pickaxe if given the choice. Because while I'm getting the bamboo slowly and I know I need a lot of it, I do already have access to it in small amounts. Where, very genuinely, the pickaxe could have materials or, like, need to clear a path or whatever that I just absolutely must have. That, realistically, I imagine we'll need them all. Because they very well could also just put up, like, some thicker bamboo, like, blocking your path, and you need the bigger sickle to clear the path or whatever.
Ah, some food for the recycler. I should probably get something to eat.
Okay. You take it following the road is the name of the game? Not necessarily. You could leave the road. I've mostly been following it the whole time, but I kind of found in the last couple areas I very well... Oh, it's not the redwood. I don't need the redwood anymore. I need blossom wood. Oh, right. It is raining. Okay. So let's see what the pickaxe is going to take. Alright, so you need 10 blossom plank and 6 rose minerals. Let's go ahead and queue up the rose minerals. I'm kind of hoping the rain will let up. We can go here to the coffee maker. Make yourself a little bit of coffee. Your roof looks a little leaky. Yeah.
Ah, that feels nice.
All right. So we need a lot more wood and a bit more stone for our pickaxe. I do need, like, a lot of bamboo by the time this is all said and done. On the bright side, it doesn't seem like bamboo is particularly hard to come by.
I'll store this right here.
Yes, they've already been over there. Here's the sugar cane, which I need the better scythe for.
Some more supplies for crafting.
Got like a hot spring here. And we got ourselves another one of the gnomes. Okay, so can't harvest anything around that, so that was just a source for a gnome. Do you not cut the cluster of bamboo? No, I need to upgrade my my scythe for that. Yes, I need 2 more chunks of rock. Just a bit more blossom wood. Okay. Alright. Now, probably need to manually put some fuel in here. So other options, put a stack of that. Gonna let that run overnight. Okay. But yeah, no, we need the upgrade scythe, we need the upgrade thing. You're guessing camping isn't really that
Fresh new
long?
day.
Is there a sandbox mode? I mean, the campaign? Yeah, I mean, but it's like Raft. When you think about Raft, you could finish the entire campaign in Raft in like, it's only like 12 or 14 hours or something like that to do a full playthrough of Raft, if you're just worried about the story. But then you have like getting your upgrades and all that kind of stuff that can make it take quite a bit longer. And I think this will be similar, that if you're just going through and then unlocking your stuff, you can blast through the game relatively quick.
Just what I needed.
Versus doing all our unlocks will take quite a bit longer. I guess. You two are very fixated on what's going on over there. Like, literally motionless. Like you're statues or something. A little weird. They clearly didn't get more animations for the ones that were, just kind of sitting there. And it makes it kind of uncanny valley.
Ready to roll.
With it just staring intently. Alright, so we would need another blossom wood. But yeah, no, just like Raft, you can just go around and continue to upgrade. Like, I have not done hardly any of the building I can do on the vehicle. Like, to give you an idea, I built all of this before we got the first upgrade on weight and size. And there are 4 different tiers of weight and size that you can upgrade things. Yeah, and this is definitely meant to be like the finale area.
Look at all those colors.
They're just kind of going through from place to place, getting the materials. Like, each one of these seems to be associated with one of the areas that we're getting stuff from those areas. There's like nods to a bunch of the map. So I think this last area is like kind of a level, but kind of not a level. Man, you all are the worst with your paint. Please, be careful with the yellow paint. Someone keeps spilling it everywhere. Oh, okay, well that's fair. Yeah, so sugarcane's...
Looks like I need a better sickle.
Yeah, sugarcane's the one there. Unfortunately, that's a painting booth, not a, recharge station. I mean, another big part of this game is there's lots and lots and lots of collectibles in the game. The campfires are technically a collectible. They don't serve another function. There's a cairn right there. You've got the little gnomes. So it's like lots of different things to collect and search out in the map, and all that is a big aspect of the game as well. Pop that open.
Time to drop off some stuff.
To be clear, I do not think this is the kind of game you're gonna sink 200 or 300 hours into. Ah. So we're apparently just gonna take the whole cherry tree to get our cherries. Fair enough. I mean, the only thing you think about that doesn't use yellow paint is the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, to be fair, when people are making a stink about like the yellow paint kind of stuff, and they'll be like, "Why don't we make games like we used to? We have to hold
Some more
people's
supplies
hands."
for crafting.
And then you show a picture like, "Here's Half-Life. Here's the game you're using an example of like good level design," and you'll have like this giant room and have like the one row of consoles and have this big red button with one light on it. It's like, how many objects are in this room? Here's a hint. It's like 8. And there we go. And then here's a modern game. And you see like this entire street with each and every street light is working, and it'll be like a dozen houses, and they'll all have like patio furniture and all that. I'm like, oh, hi.
Hi, husband.
Hi, wifey.
Thank you for getting me pizza.
You're welcome.
You're the best husband ever.
Yeah.
I love you more than all the other husbands.
Yeah. That's probably good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love you.
You. I sent you a cookie.
Are these trees all pretty?
They're pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Are they always orange?
I mean, as far as I can tell, it's a video game, so I don't get to see them in another season or whatever.
Hi, Calaria Star.
Another signal tower.
You didn't choose to make them orange?
Nope.
Hi, Harry, Paul, Zach. I'm gonna make sure I really emphasize that.
Understandable.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
That's like when I was in the UK talking about Harry Potter, and they're like, "It's not Harry, it's Harry," and I'm like, "I don't hear a difference."
Yeah, like when people are like water or water, it's like I hear that one, but then they're just like Harry, and you're like,
Yeah, because
Harry.
they were like, "You're pronouncing both wrongs. It's not Potter, like the American, it's Potter." And I was like, "Fair enough, I hear the difference." And then, but then they were like, "It's not Harry, it's Harry," and I'm like, "I don't hear a difference."
Uh-huh. Okay, so we can make tea. We'll add tea onto the list. All right. Yeah, so like we're going through this area, and each area has kind of like the bright color that's associated with it. So I do actually like how vibrant this map is.
I should get something to eat.
Oh, hey Karen, I didn't see. And the good news is this time the sun's actually hitting it, so our solar panel's doing some work. Right. So we probably we're 1 wood shy. Let me double check this. We are 1 wood shy of being able to make our axe. Let's check on the map here. So we do have a path that goes down this way and a path that keeps going around. I'm assuming this thing is just going to keep spiraling around until we get the whole way up. Well, no, because there's a path that goes the other way, too. I don't know. This path might go down here, and then we'd go the other way around. Let's find our food, because we should have some pre-prepared stuff in here. Have our sippy sip of coffee.
Okay, let's go.
That was a piece of wood right there. Alright. So you can choose right or left. I do see a radio tower to the right, so I'm going to choose right. Because that'll likely get me access to the sickle.
Huh.
I'm sure that's the intended way to do that.
Looks like I need a better sickle.
Stop dancing. I'd like food. Sir? I see you're making it. I want the pizza. Sir, I would like, sir? Okay, fine. I don't know what I've done to offend you, but I'll find somewhere else to get food. Sir, you have bread? I would like the bread. Looks like you're making maybe banana bread here. I will take your gnome. You guys are being rude. And you're not offering your wares. This is literally a food stand. That's kind of the whole point.
Ah, some food for the recycler.
Hey, yellow guy, you're gonna give me food, right? Like, oh, wait, never mind, I understand. That's for the... My bad. There's a reason you're not serving me. This is for the dog. Everyday specials, free treats for your furry friend. Freshly baked with love. Well, you two are fantastic. You at least gave me food to give to the pupper. These people over here, they're so rude. Don't even acknowledge my existence.
Huh.
Yeah, it looks like there's just this campfire here. I hadn't intended to go this way. I intended going the other way first, and I saw them. I was like, oh, they're just right up here, and there's like a whole area. Well, it looks like they're having fun up top.
Oh, some useful supplies.
I want to have fun. Yeah, so this is one of the other vehicles you could get. That's the one that's like better at off-roading. I think that's the default RV over there.
Huh. A load off my back.
Who's you a Canadian lap? Yeah. Alright. So with this, I can go here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Process that. And that'll give me what I need for the pickaxe. All right.
Huh. Huh.
That'll be another tool knocked out. All right. So just gotta wait for that to process real quick. That'll get us the pickaxe. Okay.
Huh.
I actually kind of like this as a last area. So, like, the other areas, there's a much more just driving around trying to figure the basic stuff out. And this one's been a lot more linear than the other levels. It still has you doing, like, all the mechanics, and a big part of that is probably to make sure you didn't, like, sneak your way past things to reach this area. Let's see here. I can apparently grow the cherry trees here. I'm I'm a little curious about growing a cherry tree in that little planter, but okay.
Huh.
Alright. And with this, pickaxe. Well, I don't feel like looping back right now.
Ready to roll.
Get more cherries. You're nothing, right? Yep. Got some wood over here. We can light this fire.
Ah, that feels nice.
All right. We can run up this area, see what we got going on here. There's probably going to be a cairn over here. Maybe no radio tower or something. We still haven't found a source for the chrome or adamantite ore. There's a radio tower.
Looks like I can download a blueprint here.
Alright, the sickle will make it so we can get the big clusters of bamboo. And then the only blueprint I know of that we're still missing is the better flashlight. Which doesn't feel like one I particularly care about. I mean, obviously I'll get it if we get the opportunity. But as far as upgrades go, that one's been kind of a nothing burger.
More stuff for the recycler.
Just the positivity there versus like looking at that can just like sitting off on the peak of a mountain and being like, really? It's Danny Vince. I'll go and grab the bread. Then there's a cairn on the other side. There's a giant stone gnome out in the distance. Alright. And then there was another path over to the other rock formation. And by
This
path,
could be useful.
we use that term very tenuously. Okay. Are you... Oh, no, you're just random rock. Okay. I got excited when I saw the one up there. It's like, are you ore? But no, it's just random junk rock. We should keep our eyes, though, because there's very likely they'll be, like, up along the edges, the spiky stuff that the other ore's been. Okay.
I'll store this right here.
So for the scythe, that's 10 rose minerals. I could do that right now. We can go like this. Okay, that's going. Cool. Yep, and now get that all squared away. The other thing we'll do while we're here is go there. Grabbed a bunch of the bottle caps, so while it's processing, we can run over to the cap, snapping cap or whatever this thing's called.
Hey, that's a captain snap. Let's see what I get.
All right.
Let's see what I get this time.
Just grabbing all the goodies all around here. And burn a bunch of our coins.
I'm feeling lucky.
Because I mentioned before that I'm like 99% sure that one of the achievements is going to be to get like all the things from here, all the research. That's pretty standard for all the games in this kind of genre, is to, you know, unlock all your research, unlock all the cosmetics, whatever. Basically, all the stuff they spend time making just to experience it. Collecting all the collectibles is certainly an achievement. Well, probably an achievement for each collectible, that kind of deal.
See what I get this time.
And the reason I'm standing back is the sound for dropping that in there is really loud.
I'm feeling lucky.
So I'm backing off just so it's not as loud. And these are just little decorations you can put, like...
I'm feeling lucky.
Little things you can hang off your, like, mirror in your car, that kind of thing.
Let's see what I get this time.
I have a feeling you're going to get the very last thing left in there. Alright. And so we got all those. This will probably be done smashing up all that ore so we can get our scythe. And that leaves the only tool left to max upgrade being the flashlight. Alright, we still haven't found the last two ore, though. Alright.
Time to hit the road.
It must be 1 ton of a van? Yep. So I already get all this stuff. Let's cut through back there. Or is that? Hold up. This looks like it's the same path, but it just goes into a little dead end. Yep, there is a cairn back here. When it sounds like a little dead end path, it's like, okay.
Gotta tidy this up.
I'm assuming this just connects to the other path now. Yeah, that's just the same one we took up. Alright, let's go ahead and go back here. The point was we still got more stuff there. And we're grabbing all this stone and all that. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting when we finish like the main stuff. I do think once we finish this area, whatever happens here, even if it rolls credits, I want to just run back to the research station we should have everything. The only thing I need to still find on this map is the ore and the lotus.
Time to drop off some stuff.
Yeah, it's a dead end, so you just go up here and check. All right. You'll need something to eat. There's this bunch of stuff I've got a lot of at this stage. Like the honey. Let's go ahead and go to sleep here, because there is a tunnel off this side. I'm assuming we're going to find the ore around here somewhere.
A fresh new day.
Okay.
Huh.
Alright, so we've got the geyser over here, and I do see ore sticking out of the side of it. There's so much stuff back here.
A tasty treasure.
Okay, I'm assuming the road goes through here. Yep, alright, well, let's grab a couple of things here. Now you got a source of sugar. And then let's go back to our van and drive it around. Now we got... It's a Kia? Or Kisia? I don't know how to pronounce it. We got ourselves another gnome. So we did find a single node of chrome at the geyser.
Huh.
And there's where you hop up and you get blasted by scalding hot water. Now the good news when it comes to considerations of chrome, I think the whole time I've only twice had that come up at all. And that's clearly meant to be a blocker where if you don't have the pickaxe yet, it would force you to continue to explore and make that happen. All right. Oh, I see the campfires around the next corner. Okay. Well, before I drop off, let's go light the campfire, then we'll drop all the inventory stuff off.
Some more supplies for crafting.
Okay. Okay. Alright, let's light our fire, drop off. I see another gnome at the bottom of that tree.
Ah, that feels nice.
This map's also been way easier to find a lot of the stuff because of its linearness. You just look for anything that's kind of like not following the exact path. Granted, they've been kind of cheeky in putting some of the gnomes like right by where you'd expect like more path. Which does make it a lot easier to accidentally just overlook it and move on.
Time to hit the road.
It seems like there's a bunch of path connecting all the rock formations on my side here. Pretty sure we already did that one. I don't think we did that one. Let's go to the other end here. Okay.
I should find something to eat.
What's the purpose of tide pressure? Does it mess with mileage? I have not found it yet. My assumption is if it hits 0, the vehicle stops moving and you have to fix it. That's my guess. But I also haven't run into that. Yeah, let's get you lit up.
Let's see what's inside.
And check the platform up here. We can check in the gnome. Like I said, it does look like there was overlying pathways over here that I'm curious how you can get to, and it feels like a place to hide stuff.
Huh.
Robotic hurricane. And there's a hiking area over here, so we can just go ahead and do that while we're in the area. Oh, I missed when we found the... Okay, so we found a lotus flower in the box. I'm assuming one of these areas will end up finding the lotus flowers. Just, like, in with the rest of it.
This could be useful.
Oh man, it'd be so easy to hide a gnome with all that stuff and make it nearly impossible to see.
Huh.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Remember Schwarzer Cater? The gnome? It is a cool little area that's designed to like make all the houses look like gnome-sized or whatever.
Healing supply secured.
There we go. There's a cairn over here. Huh. Huh. That's confidence building. Gnome, sweet gnome. Welcome. If you're here to pick up your little friend, you'll have to wait until we're back from the festival up on the mountain. Feel free to have a look around and grab a snack if you're hungry. Well, that's okay, because I've already stolen a whole lot of gnomes.
More stuff for the recycler.
Alright, make sure none of these are tricksy, like... Okay, those ones are unfinished. There's Toby. And Mark. Collect all the gnomes at the gnome workshop. I think it's good that they were outright, it's like, you got... Oh, I forgot to grab more of the tickets out of my vehicle.
Looks like I can download a blueprint here.
Okay. Oh, nope, that's probably death. Mossbeard the gnome hiding on the back of the mailbox. Alright. So I need to grab another stack. Oh, I'm about to, like, start starving properly. There we go. Apparently one cherry is enough to fully satiate me.
Ha! A load off my back.
Oh, it'll be up here, actually. Your band looks like it's wearing a house for a hat. Yep. Alright, I gotta go back over there when it's daytime because I didn't have a ticket on me to get whatever the download was. I assume the download that's gonna be in that one is probably just like a cosmetic aesthetic thing, like some kind of paint or whatever, maybe to make the gnome sculptures. Because there's not much room left for things we actually need. Because I think I'm missing the flashlight. And then otherwise I think I have like one other that's like an optional thing. Oh, two others are an optional thing. Alright. There you go. Go over here. Alright, so you can check that. And I've got one path that goes kind of inland more. So the thing I found interesting is there's clearly a connection between all of these. Let's see if I can't find that. Because at a minimum, it's a place they could hide a gnome and or cairn. Well, I was expecting it to be a lot more like you climb up top. It very well could be that it's just there as like an aesthetic thing, so you're going under the bridges. It's fine. Alright. What blueprints did we get? On that one, I believed I grabbed a better beehive.
Ready to roll.
I also had the choice of a planter where it puts a counter over top of the planter. Okay. We got a cairn up there. Festival camping area.
I should clean this up.
All right. We're just stealing all of their food and just assuming any bags anywhere nearby, any of it is probably garbage without actually checking. It's definitely not like their laundry or something. Okay, so there's a campfire kind of above all this. You're one overpass away from disaster. Pretty much.
Let's take a look what's in here.
Okay. We can run over here and check this end. We got another blueprint station. And I know we still have the flashlight upgrade. And then separate from the flashlight upgrade, I know there's the counter with the like planter underneath it. The Lone Wanderer.
That could come in handy.
Sorry. And there's the flashlight. There's probably also some cosmetic blueprints we still haven't gained access to. Those tend to be like where you're at a location. It'll be like, hey, go back to this previous tower and hit it again. And then usually be like, okay, well now you got some fancier countertops or whatever. And I found a few of them to actually be useful, but most of the time they're just cosmetics. There's nothing I saw as like, oh man, if I miss this, this would be rough. It's like, no, it's just different look, different material requirements, stuff like that.
I'll put this in storage.
We have the cairn up there. Let's see if I can just glitch climb my way up this real fast. Because it's clear we get to it from the other side. I say we've climbed worse. All right. You got the spot in the middle. Looks like it's another geyser to get some more chrome from. Okay, so we got a couple things over here. Yeah, we'll want to take the car over here. I was gonna be like, alright, do I want to just run over there? It's like, no. No, there's at least 2 or 3 paths off of there. That's probably one to drive the car over so that way I can backtrack and drop off.
Some more supplies for crafting.
In case you get overburdened. Alright. So we happen to have a full charge right now, so no point in doing that. Okay, so we got the path up there. Let's first roll over here to these campgrounds. And deal with their stuff. Meanwhile, they're standing right there, and you just, like, send off the firework that's pointing right at them. Like, yep, and that is how that's how I went to prison. Yeah, you know, I pulled the firework button. There was a bunch of screaming. I really don't remember exactly what happened from there. But next thing I know, I was in cuffs. Something about criminal negligence. Oh, I was kind of expecting. You know what? I think. Oh yeah, we've already been here. Not to where we just were. We were on that side of the path. I walked across and did this, and then we turned right there instead of left. That's fine. So that means we've come the whole way around here. We got this all sorted out. I don't think we'll get all of the cairns and gnomes on the first pass, but it looks like we're going to put a pretty good dent in them. Get you over here. They'll recharge just a little bit. There is like a whole complex here. Okay, this is gonna take me a minute to navigate it.
Ah, some food for the recycler.
Yeah, make sure it wasn't some, like, secret up there. And I do see that there's ore down there. I think that's yellow as opposed... Oh my god, this place is huge. Alright, that's fair. Is that more chrome? It looks a little yellow to me, but it could just be the lighting here. Okay, that's chrome. Okay. I still want to go up there. Because they're cheeky and hid one behind the booth I had looked at.
Perfect for the project.
Yeah, so it looks like we can walk around here. There's a bunch of these different areas. There's a cairn up there. We get a bunch of chrome, some cairn. There's probably going to be at least one gnome tucked up here somewhere. So the good news, as far as chrome goes, we got that figured out. Still haven't seen the adamantite. Now, it could just be
I should probably get something to eat.
that I'm treating the adamantite like it's its own ore. And it very well could be in the game that we combine, like, chrome with one of the other materials or something, or, like, process the chrome and you get something else. Alright.
Huh.
A little bit more chrome there.
Huh.
There's another cairn. Where did that chrome go? I saw another spot of chrome. Oh, it's down here. Okay. There's another one way over there.
Huh. Let's see what's inside.
We found a finished metal bar of adamantite or whatever it is. There's a little bit way over there. We got some over there. We also, we've already been in the big building. Let's hit that spot, and by then we should be pretty much cleared out this area to head home. How far? So we've got 16 out of the 20 cairns, 15 out of the 25 gnomes, and 2 out of 3 paintings. I fully suspect we're gonna have, like, the one cairn I've missed or whatever, that be a matter of figuring out where it is and that kind of thing. Like I said, it's not a thing I'm gonna worry about on stream. Those kind of achievement grind ones could be, if you're doing it legit, it could be a whole lot of just walking back and forth, going over the areas you've already gone over till you find the one you're missing, which would be very not fun to watch. I mean, it can be tedious when you're doing it. And then if you do pull up, like, a guide or something, assuming there's already one of those out there, it could very much be one of those things that, you know, it's like, well, the next one's over here. And then just all the time it takes to run over there, which, again, can be very uninteresting to watch. Alright, let's eat something, because I'm at the edge of passing out. There we go. Was there more I need to make still? Alright, we got the flashlight. Oh, wow. 12 adamantite metal and a stack of electronics. Okay. So let's check. Yeah, we don't have one here for the adamantite. Oh, I forgot we have that sitting there for whatever. Okay, so we haven't seen how to make the adamantite stuff. Drop you in here. So we have a tea station as a new one, and a mushroom plot that's got a cap on it, and a bigger beehive. I'm not too fussed about any of those things. We got a bunch more of the things you can hang in the window that I'm not going to worry about. The reason I'm not too fussed is, like, a lot of those, they're just going to give me more honey or whatever. And I don't really need it.
A fresh new day.
Alright, so with that, we are here. That's an interesting icon. Even though we really don't need the recharge. Let's go ahead and do it. We're sitting right here. It's going to take me a minute to go through the rest of the area anyways. There's our top off.
Fully charged. Let's go.
Alright. There's a cairn down there. I'm pretty sure we got that one. I didn't have to be pretty sure. I could just look at the map. Yeah, we got that one. All things considered, doing a first pass of the game without taking the time to like really look, I'm pretty happy with the results. So we've got over 2/3 of the cairns already. And there's little sections of the map I certainly could have looked at way more. Especially the first section, I could definitely have looped back and checked a lot of that better.
Okay, let's go.
Meanwhile, my dog is just... My dog at some point showed up there and is just chilling. I can't get up the hill. Alright, hold please.
Huh.
I forgot.
Huh.
We still have an engine upgrade we can unlock. Okay, so we need to upgrade our engine. Alright, so the upgrade engine is 20 of the adamant metal and 40 rose material. I don't know where I get the adamant metal from. So you need 40 of that. I don't have enough. Oh yeah, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start processing that. Oh, the chrome makes the adamant metal. Okay. I assumed the chrome would make chrome. That's a me thing.
Huh.
Alright, so let's go to the smelter here. So we left 1 chrome. Well, that changes a lot of stuff. That means we do have everything in the game that we're aware of. Alright, so for the dog stuff, I would need cloth. We don't have enough fiber. A real problem that people have everywhere. We can work on the power cells as well. We had started that. I think I'm going to wait on that. I don't feel like much need for the power cells. Yeah, so for you... It's 40 and 20. Speak for yourself. I am. Granted, most people actually need more fiber. But still, there are exceptions. Okay, well that's just going to take a minute. You do just you just find your daily fiber? You're so right anyways. Yup. So we're basically kind of on hold. I didn't realize there was this whole screen here. Basically this whole screen's like, yo, by the way, you can add more of these to improve your ability to recharge, of which ours is a hair above low. And you just need a bunch of electronics and all that. Alright. Now, just say for right now, we just gotta wait for these to process. Alright. Which that's very much on me. It's also good to see you, Page Cakes. This is very much on me. I just assumed adamantite was going to be an alloy or a different ore. Because like I said, when it was like, oh, I am finding chrome ore, clearly that makes chrome, right? Right? That'd be like playing a game and then finding aluminum and being like, what's aluminum make? Steel. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. It's fine, it's not a problem. But genuinely, I just wasn't processing this stuff because I didn't think I had what we need. Chrome doesn't make chrome? No, the chrome ore makes adamantite. That's what made me confused. There is no chrome in the game. There's chrome ore. It's a weird choice. To be fair, I don't know what's in adamantite. Like, I don't know if that's an alloy. I don't know if it's a fictional material. I'm pretty sure it's a real material. But I don't know, like, again, if it's, I would guess it's an alloy. Okay. You look like you might be done. Oh, your output's full because you can only handle 20 at a time. Boo. I mean, it's fair. Alright. So I've got the adamant metal. Now we're just waiting for the rose. It's as real as vibranium. I don't know if that helps me at all. Because especially when you get like on the table of stuff, you get really high up there, like on your periodic table, you get really exotic, wild things. And then stuff that can be made with those have all sorts of ridiculous names. Which half of them are things that's like, they're theoretical stuff. Or stuff that you could, produce, but it would decay rapidly. And then that's like a lot of, your comic book heroes. That's basically what they're doing. It's like, yeah, we have this thing that doesn't stay stable. You stabilized it. Animate has the same ancient Greek root as diamond. It was mythical to them too. Gotcha. Well, unobtainium, I believe technically not as presented in games. Didn't they like way up on the periodic table that they had a material that they called unobtainium, but it was one of those things you created and it instantly nuclear decays to not being it anymore. Because it's just like I said, you can get on the periodic table where and like when I say these, doesn't naturally occur. But they like basically artificially create these materials, but they nuclear decay super rapidly into not being those materials anymore. There was one of them that was in that range. It's just like the very fictional metals or whatever. That I think it was like in comic books, unobtainium existed, and then some scientist with a sense of humor turned around and was like, okay, we've made this thing way down the periodic table. That was the main ore they're doing in Avatar. Right, like I was saying, I think it was like some scientist had a sense of humor because of like unobtainium being in comics and games and all that. Was basically making like, I don't even think they made it, I think it was theoretical. but it was, you know, something ridiculously far up in the in materials with like that, where like just shoving materials in, like well past uranium and all that. But like, you know, the radioactive decay of it was so rapid. Again, it was like theoretical in the sense that it wouldn't, if you did successfully make it, it would instantly kind of just disperse. Not disperse, it would radioactively decay into a different material. Which is the joke around it being unobtainium. Because even if you made it, you wouldn't get to have it. Alright. So we've got the upgrade available. Now what does it take to actually make the upgrade? Alright, so I already have the metal. I need 20 more rose mineral. I'm glad I got entirely more of this than I thought I would need. The good news is we will get the last of this made this in-game night. Now, I'll probably just continue driving up the road. Actually, you know what? I'll just go to sleep and they'll be done in the morning.
Right here.
Yeah, now I'd have to look. I remember as a thing like 3-4 years ago. And like I said, I think it was more theory than anything. But it had to go to forcing materials to be more radioactive than they normally were. So kind of forcefully shoving new materials into existence. Like, the being able to do that was not theory. We can. But it was that we would be able to make stuff higher up that would technically be a material. Even if a very short-lived one. Alright, so we have upgraded our engine, so now this hill can be handled.
Ready to roll.
And that was our last engine upgrade in the game. Yeah, so I mean, all we have left is to... Oh, wait, Oh, wait, I'm not going to be able to light that fire right now. It's raining. In case you missed it, come back here at night. It's my favorite spot in the whole mountain. So peaceful and beautiful. Please, make sure to drink enough water. I left some under the table for anyone who needs it.
Some more supplies for crafting.
You left it under the water, and I assured no one else would ever get it. Mr. Plop. So unfortunately, I cannot light that fire while it's raining. And we did use, just a minute ago, like almost 100 of this stuff. So I don't want to stop for all of it, but I do want to replenish this a little bit. Because my luck is we'll get to the top and be like, oh no, you need to build this last suspension bridge. Bring me 100 metal. I don't think they will. But it's always when you don't grab the resources you come by later and it's like, oh wait, I needed a bunch of that, didn't I?
Wow, look at this festival.
In the rain. Yeah, very, very clearly this has been like, this level's been mostly driving around, you know, kind of getting a hoorah of the game and what it's been and all that.
This looks delicious.
Just making sure there's not like a gnome hiding in a chair here somewhere. I imagine that looks much better when it's not actively raining. Okay.
Oh, some useful supplies.
Alright. And that is all the blueprints I'm aware of existing in the game. Not saying that's all of them. But I don't know what we get after that. Again, fortunately it's raining, so I can't light that campfire either. Oh, for a moment, like from the distance, I thought it was like 4 of those.
Hey, that's a cap and snap.
The drone elevator is currently out of service. We're working to get it up and running again as soon as possible. Apologies for the inconvenience, but have a great time at the festival. The Outbound Festival crew. I'm assuming we'll go up and finish whatever the thing that rolls credits, and then that's to get you back off the mountain. You know, so you can get back to, like, the start of the game kind of thing. You know, so you can circle back, do all your unlocks, that kind of nonsense.
Let's see what I get. I'm feeling lucky.
Okay.
Let's see what I get.
And we want to burn all of these as fast as we can. It does make you wonder with that, oh, you know what it is? Yeah, that drops down to where this goes. So I just happen to choose the path that takes you up. Yeah, and then we'll get to the festival center. There looks like there's a bunch still up here. It does make me curious what else is going to be there.
Let's see what I get this time.
I'm also hoping to kill time just in the off chance it stops raining. Because if it stops raining, I'll quickly backtrack, get that one fire was back there just a little. Get that one done really fast. And then get this one done.
Let's see what I get. Let's see what I get this time.
Okay.
I'm feeling lucky. Let's see what I get.
I just realized these things we're unlocking are like a bunch of balloons to put off the sides of our car. So we got our bobblehead so we can put on the dash. But yeah, so we got more processed rubber. I can put like kites and that sticking off the sides of my car and all that.
Time to hit the road.
Okay. Man, I'd be curious, like, once we finish the game, like, again, off stream, I'd be pursuing the achievements. Is that where... Oh, that's the gnome area. Okay, that makes sense.
This is amazing. Let's join the other camper vans.
This definitely is very finale. But they've got me bottled into driving along this path, and they're giving me fireworks and cheering the whole way. Participate in the festival. Okay. So just checking. I'm scared to click out of the window. I did it anyways. The entire game to play start to finish for just purposes of like finishing the game took me about 19 hours. So that gives you an idea. Just roll credits is about 19 hours, probably give or take, all depending on like how long you spend grinding, how efficiently you do. You could certainly get it way faster than I did. You could definitely get it slower. Now, we don't have all the unlocks. We haven't built everything. I do want to see what, like, we're not going to immediately stop here. What I am going to do is go back down to the desert. There's a research station that I couldn't finish without going to this part of the map. I do think we take a minute to run over there, put the thing in there, and see what we get out of the last box. Because I'm assuming it'll be something cool, considering you effectively can't get it until you pretty much finish the game. But yeah, no, this has been fun. Like I said, for me, I still stick with the, I think Raft is a good thing to compare it to. And the reason I say that is, while there's certainly a lot of differences between the two games, Raft has a lot more focus on the survival side of it. You've got like the picking up the debris as you go, and there's the shark with the, like, you know, and minor combat stuff in it. Like, I wouldn't say combat's particularly a focus in Raft either. Just kind of the fact that, like, your home moves with you, and then you have to, like, gather your resources to process into the next thing to do the next piece. It very much lands in the same way there. So it's like Cozy Raft, but, like, instead of thematically being around you being stranded on a raft to go between location to location, instead this one is you have your RV, and you're apparently just on your way to the festival. Like, there isn't some, like, you're just trying to get through this dystopian survival situation. It's just like, no, you're just going to the festival. You're leaving your situation in the city and just going to the festival, which is good enough. And we have tons and tons of backers. I do know there's multiple people in the community who mentioned that they did back this game. So I'm trying to, like, look through the names really fast and just see if I happen to spot any of the names for their different backers and all that, or other names I recognize. It's unlikely because these are probably higher tier backers and whatnot. I mean, this May is probably all the backers, but the ones up farther. They're trying to get through, but only road through is extremely... Yeah, there's just like a bunch of things in the way from you getting there. And the game excuse is kind of like everyone is left to go to the festival, and so there's stuff that's just not fixed because they left. Which is amusing. Yeah, so a lot of people backed this. I have no idea what all these additions are. But yeah, no, it's a charming game. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Even like... Also, they left the dogs to go feral, apparently. Yes. Yes, they did. But, even like this last map, which the last map here was smaller than the other ones, and you could get through it relatively quickly. It was definitely kind of giving you like one last hurrah with the mechanics and all that. I appreciate, because there's a lot of these kind of games that you get to that last material and they just make it super grindy. Like super duper grindy. It's very notorious in the survival crafter where it's like, oh, you've reached the steel stage. Well, you need to get yourself like 800 units of iron and 600 units of coal and let this cook for like 4 real-life hours and all that to get, you know, the MacGuffin to summon the boss. By the way, your MacGuffin is consumed while you summon the boss, so if you don't kill it, you need to do it again, and if you didn't get the drop you want for the boss, you need to do it again. You get the idea. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but there's definitely that kind of thing that does happen where it's like, oh no, we want to make sure the player gets like 200 hours. What can we do to pad out the time? And I very much appreciate when games don't do that, because usually that padded out time is not feels good time. Because even there where we had like the last motor upgrade took like a total of like 60 of one unit and then 40 of the other, that still only took like 5-10 minutes or whatever, and then you could sleep to skip. Hey, it's Treacle, right column. Right column, Treacle is about a third of the way up the screen, halfway up the screen. That was the one name, like one of the names I knew was on here. So Treacle's about to leave the top of the screen. So one of our moderators, Treacle, did support this game as well. So it's cool to see the name there. I'm sure there's a bunch of names I'd recognize in here that are into like cozy games, like other content creators and whatever, without knowing to watch for them. Like trying to race through these names and recognize anything is much too fast. Yeah, so when Treacle usually gets on later in the evening for my time, we'll have to say that we saw her name in the credits. That she is an alpha backer. And those are the beta backers. There's just too many names to process even half of them. Like I would not be surprised to see a handful of names on here that I know, but just very, very genuinely, there's just I'd have to know the people ahead of time, or just get really lucky and just spot them. There's both a Timmy and a Timmy. Which checks out. Alright. We're in the W, so we should be wrapping up pretty quickly. Because you won't have very many with X, Y, or Z. Okay. Oh, okay, so Mark and Toby, I figured they were probably at least devs or project managers, or because we went to the, on this map, we went to the gnome thing, and they had those two, the Mark and Toby gnomes were at the keyboard in the gnome place. So now's when the game loads back up, but all the caravans are all gone, and there's no more fireworks. It's all like broken down. And so now you just drive around and like there's just no one in the world anymore. Day 71. Yeah, so I'm assuming you could go back up there and see more of that. Alright, but before we do that, let's hop out. Because conveniently... Okay, so they're still dancing and all that. So conveniently it dropped me here. So while it's not raining... we have this fire here to light up on this map.
Would you look at that?
And I believe on the second map, I'm missing 4 fires. And I have absolutely no idea where. I'm assuming they're like somewhere in the middle of the map. So let's circle back to this other fire and actually see what the outbound thing here looks like when it's not raining buckets. So that's fun. The other campfire was just over here, right? Where was the campfire I missed? Oh, there it is. I see it. There's a gnome icon over top of it because I found a gnome there. It wasn't even the full way down here. Far way down this hill. Right there. Okay. And that'll be all the buckets on this, or all the fires in this map. Okay, so with this, the only thing I want to make sure we do before we wrap up, for this game that is...
Okay, let's go.
Is like I said, there is a research place we found that it wanted materials from here and materials from the first map. We already grabbed the materials from the first map and we have the materials from here. I made sure to not use one of the chrome ore just as a precaution. We didn't use the lotus for anything. I've got cherries, so we should be all well and good. Let's actually double check that. Yeah, so the grain and fiber we got for the first map, I should have all of those in spades. Before we take the elevator, we'll double check the chrome ore just to make sure I didn't oopsies.
Wow, look at this festival.
Okay. Alright, let's take 2 seconds. The only one I'm worried about is the chrome ore, which I've got my 1 spare there, so we're good.
There we go.
Okay. This has got a little bit of a drive. Let's check over there real fast.
That could come in handy.
There's a cairn. There's probably a gnome over those boxes over there. Because this is a route we didn't take on the way up. It's just a very short route. Okay, we got Lemmy. Okay, so checking on the map, because I don't think we're going to find any more. We missed one cairn. We got all the campfires. We're missing 8 gnomes, and we're missing 1 painting. So we did get the majority of stuff, but we did unfortunately miss a few, which is pretty much expected.
I'll put this in storage.
When it comes to collectibles, unless they're super duper easy or the game is exceedingly linear, you almost always have to... Is that the cairn we need? No. That'll be a cairn we've already gotten. Yep. Okay, and this gets us out of here. Alright. Okay, and on that second pass, we do have the cairn that's at the top of the hill. Like I said, that'd be one of those things that just on my own time I would go around, find the cairns and the gnomes. Because ultimately I did pretty well. I'm curious... Well, I mean, the next time we find...
I think I need to charge soon.
Like, if we do find any more of them along the way, which we probably won't, we could check the progress pretty quick and just see, like, where everything ended up at.
Here we go.
All right. Man, I keep looking at this, and they have, like, this whole drone going up and down with the propellers. I'm like, dude, just put cables or something for it to climb. Or put it on a rail or something. Like, the extra amount of energy you need to keep this whole thing aloft with propellers, you would be losing so much efficiency to it, creating so many more dangers and everything. Versus... I know it's boring, just a thing that goes up cables. Would be so much safer. And more efficient.
Time to hit the road.
Bow, bow, bow. There's a lot of bounce on that. And then this will take us to the ferry. The ferry takes us to the second map. Then we just gotta drive. The propellers are obviously why it breaks down so much. Right. I think the reality, though, is especially with no redundancies in that thing, the breakdown would be horrific. That was they had one of the maps had, like, a kayak had gone down a waterfall. And you see the kayak, like, wedged into the ground at the bottom. And they're like, don't worry. They're okay, though. And I'm like... Nah, man. That dude took a 100-foot plunge down a waterfall directly into the point, and it was shallow enough that your kayak embedded itself into the bottom. You're definitely not okay. Maybe you didn't die, but, like, you're probably never walking again at a minimum. So pop you open and let you recharge for a moment. I need more of this anyways for when I gotta do stuff later. Like probably off-stream stuff, I mean. So I'll just run through and grab this while the vehicle recharges for a second.
Perfect for the next project.
I also still like, you walk up to what's effectively the pet store, and there's no one there, and there's animals in the back. You're like, I get to adopt one. It's like, do you now? I feel like you're just straight up dog napping these animals. I have nothing here that leads me to believe that this is on the up and up. All right, we're gonna have to burn some wood. All right. So wood burning. I'm gonna chuck a stack of that in there, and that'll do. 'Cause I just need enough energy to get to there. Yeah, because we get to there, we can get a full recharge. There's plenty to get us up here. Oh, I have one fire I'm missing up there. So this is the map I'm missing for fires. I don't believe there's going to be fire up there. There could be a fire up here. Yeah, I see that fire. Maybe it's one of those ones we got to zoom in more. There also... Well, I don't see a way down here. There could be fires or stuff over there. There's a fire down there. I see that one. That's 1, 2, potentially 3. Maybe a 4 over there somewhere. Like I said, I'll worry about the collecting stuff on my own time off stream. No more sun, so put that away. Honestly, probably good enough. Because that'll get into stuff where, like, you know, there's going to be, oh, let me check this spot on the map. Oh, no, it wasn't there. Let's go over to that spot on the map. Oh, no, there wasn't there. Now, realistically, I might go there and then find a cairn or a gnome or whatever. Like, so it'll be progress. But you get the idea. You definitely don't want to sit there while, like, people are watching and be like, yep, just exploring the areas you've already seen on the map. Nope, didn't find it there. That kind of exploration's usually a lot more fun to leave on your own. I am glad that they, so before the lighthouse wasn't lit, now it's working now. Yeah, so we need to just kind of carry along. We'll recharge the car when we get the chance at the charging station. Drive all the way to the research place, and then from the research place, as you go there. The good news is now I don't have to go along the canyon river on the third map because we fixed the bridge. So we'll just cut across the bridge, just drive across the desert to the research station. And like I said, I am just very curious what we get out of the thing. Low-key, what it probably is it's probably a gnome. Like, just before everyone gets their excitement up, it's probably just a gnome. That said, there is a download there, and that I don't know what is. That's actually the thing I'm more excited about. Now, it could be a download that's just like a cosmetic thing that, you know, you put like a little crown on the top of your car or something, I don't know. It could also be something that is far more meaningful. I was actually trying to see if there was an easy way to check that spot. I'm not, like, the temptation to start digging into that is too high, and I don't need to be doing that. Like, I can grab this one that we're driving by where we know where it is, to just snag it real fast. But the hunting, I don't want to start that, because I already know I'm going to do a lot of it with the cairns and the gnomes. The campfires, I'm missing, I think, 4 in the whole game. And all 4 are here.
I think I need to charge soon.
Alright, so let's go to sleep real fast. And then we'll do the one fire here, because this one we know of. And the other fire is way up on the other end. I was waiting for it to be raining. So this one is probably... the redwoods. Alright. I don't mind stopping long enough to do that.
Ah, that feels nice.
And if I were to guess, my guess is there's a campfire underneath that spot. And then there's either a campfire hidden up here somewhere, or it's something like under one of these other icons that I just cannot see. Let's go ahead and get... Yeah, just the only one I know is the one up there. That's fine.
Time to hit the road.
Okay. Yeah, so once we get the last campfire, I would just turn the campfires off because they serve no purpose anymore. Me, I can go boom, 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 boom. I don't have that, Karen.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah, so at the end of the game, because that's probably the last one we're going to find just right now, it looks like we'll have 25 of the cairns we haven't done. And I believe with the gnomes we had like 30-ish? I think we got to just about 60 out of 90 gnomes, if I remember correctly. So it looks like we'll be about 25 shy of getting all of the cairns, 30 or so, give or take, of the gnomes, and then we'll have one campfire, two campfires that I missed. All right. Well, that's pretty good. That said, like, we didn't have any, at least not so far, we didn't have anything that was, like, super duper over elaborately hidden.
I need to charge soon.
Because I know the different versions of Borderlands where they hid the vault symbols all over the map. Like, a lot of the vault symbols weren't that hard to track down. There was one or two that had these, like, incredibly elaborate ways you had to, like, figure out how to navigate around town to, like, get from certain roofs and jump paths and then, like, double back and all sorts of stuff. That the paths got really ridiculous. And it's one thing if you could see the vault symbol, you're like, okay, I see it's up there. And then have to go, okay, well, how the hell do I get there? Or, like, you know, you had something like there's a chest or something you could clearly see it. I'm like, all right, I know I can get there somehow. But there's definitely times where it's like you had no way of seeing that there was anything there from any angle you could get at. So it was just, you had to just kind of be glitching your way around the map to try and find your way to it.
Fully charged. Let's go.
So some of them got pretty over the top at times. Alright, so now I believe it's, yeah, to the left, and then we stick to the right. Did it put, okay, so I still got the redwood on me. We got all the cap and snaps here. I think we were missing a little bit on the first map, and then I know we were missing a little bit on the third map. I believe I will literally be driving by the one on the third map. We can just chuck the coins we got in there if it's enough to finish it. Because I think we actually had gotten a lot of stuff out of that machine, I just hadn't finished it off because I didn't have enough coins at the time, or bottle caps or whatever. I was expecting the whole game to use more of the rubber, especially with how many rubber trees there were. I think the only thing we used the rubber for is there was one of the dog upgrades. I had to use the rubber to unlock it and then use the rubber again to actually install it. And I think I used one or two more pieces of rubber after that. So it ended up being a thing that I really did not need much rubber. Okay. Yeah, so we take a right up ahead. Oh boy, we got to 65. It's funny with how slow the vehicle is as far as like it doesn't mention whether it's kilometers per hour, miles per hour. I do like that the speedometer down there, it's probably very hard to see on your screens, but it has been tracking how many whatever units of measurement that is that we've been driving, that we've gone 690 to, again, I don't know if they're kilometers or miles or what we're dealing with here.
Would you look at that?
So you got that one. Yep, so I'm only missing 2 campfires in the whole game, and both are on this map we're leaving now. I got a pretty good idea of where one of them is probably, and the other one I've got some pretty, I got some guesses. That might be a long shot. Okay.
Rocky Canyons, here I come.
Yeah, it's like this one we missed 6 cairns and 12 gnomes and 1 painting. It seems like almost each map I missed 1 painting. I think only the first map maybe I got them all. Because the third map I was missing, or sorry, the fourth map I was missing 1. This one I'm missing 1. I think that last map I was missing 1. Okay, there's the bridge we're gonna cross. Where's the pop? Oh, it's nowhere nearby. I was trying to remember where the last cap and snap or whatever it was located, but it doesn't look like it's anywhere near us. That's probably why I didn't do it the first time. Where is it? It's located on this map somewhere. Yep, I don't see it. It's fine. That's another thing for me to deal with off stream, is just tracking down those, putting my coins in them. Oh, there's an Cairn we didn't get.
Huh.
It's only 24 shy.
Huh. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So I could shortcut us a bit across here. I'm watching for us. Where was your recharge point? Okay, so recharge point straight there. I am just gonna beeline right across the middle of this desert, just in case. Where is the last one? Because I know there was one on here I didn't have enough supplies for. Now let's actually pay attention. There's the recharge station, so we can top off while we're here.
Ah, battery's running low.
Okay. Recharge the battery. Let's get to the research station, and then once we're up there, we can just go ahead and we'll probably sleep, because at that point it'll be dark enough we don't want to not be able to run. And then we can drop off all the goodies into their various places, and see what the heck we get on the other side of it. And at that stage, we'll probably wrap up with Outbound for the day, because we did roll credits. I believe we've unlocked everything that's not cosmetic that I'm aware of, other than, again, I don't know what I get off of this one here. Maybe it'll be something useful or important. Maybe something just kind of cool. Don't really know. There's only one way to find out. That's to get it. There's a cairn there. Did I get that one? Yes, I did. Okay. Open the doors. Go to sleep. Alright, so we got a couple of things we gotta grab and figure out all that stuff.
A fresh new day.
So, we grab a unit of fiber. We need to grab a unit of grain. Let's see, where's the grain? There you are. And then for the other one, I need pak choi, lotus, chromor chairs, and bamboo. There's the lotus. There's the cherry. There's the pak choi. There's the bamboo. What? Oh, it's bamboo strips. There's the bamboo. Which... oh, it's the chromor. Okay, that should be everything I need. So we go in here.
There you go.
Deliver all the research to at the 4 research centers. I don't think I did that, because I haven't delivered anything to the research station up there. So what are you giving me? Oh. I thought I already had that. That's fine. So it's just another beacon so that, like, I could finish unlocking things. Because it looks like the first time you go to each of those places, they get one of the recipes for that region of the map. Okay, so that's not nearly as exciting as I was hoping for. What about you?
I'm doing my part.
Okay, so I still have 40 gnomes left. So at the end of the day, I had, what was it, 24 cairns I missed, 40 gnomes, and 2 campfires. Otherwise, we got all the other collectibles. We did unlock, I believe, all the non-cosmetic blueprints. There's certainly more cosmetic ones I've missed. What else do we have here? We do have research stuff that I didn't quite finish that I'm pretty sure are going to be achievements. That, like, you know, I've got these 2 to unlock. I've got those 4 to unlock. I got that one to unlock, and then these upgrades here. Which I can make that now, I just might be short on materials and all that. Alright, but I feel like we've done a good job with this game, and, you know, we kind of played through it. I think it's a reasonable amount of content we got for it. It's not a particularly expensive game. It doesn't overstay its welcome, which I really appreciate. There are a lot of games that just really want to be your next, you're going to put in 1,000-hour games, and often it's to a negative to the experience a lot of the times when they do that. So what's going to end up happening here is I am going to want to go ahead and probably get a pull up to see what we're doing next, because I didn't have an exact plan. So what are we doing now? We can put in on Conan Exiles, where we can continue on Ultra Sources servers. We can do Everything is Crab, which was the rogue light one we did the other day, where you're a slime, you kill things, you gain levels and do all sorts of stuff. A little bit more chaotic than most of the content I normally do, but it was a lot of fun. We can put Farming Simulator on there, because that's just a nice relaxing time. Simulator 25, where we would continue our Survivor Man run. I don't want to do Outworld Station right now. That was a lot of fun. That's kind of a factory automation game. A lot of the other ones I'd probably hop on to immediately aren't available yet so far as their next updates going. We'll be doing Space Haven in a couple of days for its big release it's got coming out. I did see that Hydroneer had a major update, but it was purely optimization, which is important. But as far as I was aware, there's literally no content. Not that there's not much content, but it was purely make game run not bad. We finished the 2-Point Museum DLC. Let me check really fast on my list of stuff I've got in the queue. See if there's anything else I want to hit. We did Ground to Ace. I had a lot of fun with that, but I'd like to wait till that's less early access. We just finished Outbound. Hotel Architect is coming soon. I did not get an early key to the Illinois DLC, so I can't check that quite yet. And then the other ones aren't available yet. Alright, so let's get a couple more options on here to pop into. I can put Busbound on there. That was the chill game where you drive around town delivering people and slowly the town upgrades. It is very much the drive from A to B, repeat till progress kind of game, which there's nothing wrong with that. Just making it clear where you read Busbound and be like, oh, is this similar to Outbound? It's like, nah, man. Other than you're driving, that's pretty much where that ends. I don't want to get into Vintage Story right now. We can put Above the Snow on there. I did have fun with that. But now we're starting to get to the point where it's been a while since we played as well. I think the ship has sailed for doing the Star Trucker DLC. Like, it's just way after the fact. We finished News Tower. We did a second run of that. Town to City, we're going to probably wait on for more stuff. We don't know anything about Go-Go Town's update. Just that's going to be this quarter. Did you play Town to City? I did play Town to City. I had a really good time with it. Unless there's been another update. Oh, they just announced it's, oh! Well, Town to City 1.0 releases at the end of the month. Well, I guess we're going to be doing Town to City on the well, we'll see about the 26th. That's the day before I fly out. But assuming there is a stream that day, which there probably will be, Town to City, we'll do that. Yeah, no, but Town to City I agree, it is a gorgeous game. The music's great. It's a very good time. But it does sound like it's got a thing. Yeah, their next game will be a train game. I saw that. Yeah, they announced that it was it's Galaxy Grove, the company. It's Steam to Electric is the name of their next game, but it's going to be a train game. Let's see. Above the Snow is the one my mind's going to for the next one, but I don't think that'd be a great game to play at this point. Like, I really enjoyed it, but it was already getting a little not tedious, that's not the word I want to use. There's a lot of micro to it. It was already kind of getting to the point where things were taking a while to happen. So from the content creation standpoint, it was like, okay, but what do I fill that time with where nothing's happening as we're waiting for like money to tick up or whatever, you know, or whatever the next thing is. And you could fast forward, but we were already fast forwarding like one tier below the fastest the whole time. Which is fine for playing. I like those games a lot. I actually get frustrated with how many games I can't really take a backseat on. Did I finish Last Gas Station? I'm pretty sure we got all the achievements. Yeah, I got all the achievements in Last Gas Station. I'm gonna uninstall that. I had a good time with it, but I did do all the achievements off stream, and there's nothing left for the game until they add more content, if they add more content, which would be fair if they don't. You know what? 4 games is fine for a poll. All right, so we got the poll going. So if you don't see the poll, make sure you refresh your browser. That way you can you can see the poll and all that and weigh in. But the options we have is Conan Exiles, which would be jumping onto the server that Ultra Source has been hosting with a bunch of other content creator friends on there's this point. We can do Everything is Crab. That is that rogue light game we played the other day. That it's a little bit more Like, it's a little bit more involved. It does mean I won't be able to interact with chat as well, because it isn't a game I can kind of like stop paying attention to. Once a round starts, it kind of keeps focused. Then we have Farming Simulator, which is where we've been doing the Survivor Man Challenge, which is where we start with nothing. Very chill times, great for conversation. And then we've got Busbound, which is the one where you drive around the city picking people up and dropping them off, and then slowly the city improves around you as you continue to unlock and expand more of the town. But it is very much about driving people from A to B. But it's another one that you can have like chill conversation as you just drive around and do all that stuff. Meanwhile, while that's going on, I have got to use the restroom, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the restroom and do all that. For those over on YouTube, what'll end up happening is I'm probably gonna have the stream just come down for you for a minute, and then we'll bring it back up with the other game. Normally, I'll try and kick it over and all that, but I don't want to keep like an extra 5 minutes at the end of the VOD over there. That's just me stepping away to use the restroom to see what we're getting. All right, so I'm going to quickly use the restroom. I'll be back in a couple minutes, and thank you again for tuning in. Yeah, the ad just played, so I don't need to play it earlier. All right, I'll be back.